There's a lot of talk about AI. And if you remember not too long ago, it was IoT. And then corporates were coming out saying, we're going to do a digital transformation. And now they're going to say, we're doing AI. And there's a lot of hype in different directions. You're sitting in Europe, where it's, I would say, a little bit more of a pessimistic direction, more of a doomerism, but you can correct me. And in the US, it's just absolute AI psychosis, right? Like every day there's a launch of something. Oh my God, this is going to destroy the whole SaaS business model. This industry is cooked. Yeah, this is very American, right? Bravado, jump to this is going to change the whole world. It's a game changer without any proof, right? It's just, psychosis, I would say, or hype. You're deep in the trenches. Is AI a thing in corporate yet or not? Because this is hard for me to determine between what's just the hype, the talk, and what's the actual lay of the land on the ground. And then what's your actual opinion on AI? And you can say what, LLMs, vision, whatever. Will it have any impact in the short term or not? Beyond hype.
Well, I'm gonna, you know, switch on my engineer brain again and you know come up with the stats. 90% of AI project
That's
fail
the
to return
MIT
ROI.
one, right? That's the
That's the
MIT.
MIT. That's the MIT research that came out, I think, in October last year. So it's pretty new.
And it could be worse because that's reported failures,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Exactly. It can be close to 99.999%
Yes,
of
yes,
projects,
yes,
right?
yes.
Again, going back to conversation of cost of failure, a lot of my clients are interested in applying cost of failure, and I say, well, first and foremost, we need to define what failure means, and we need to
Yeah.
live by that. And then obviously a lot of people start pushing back. Yeah, but it was not a failure because we learned so much, and the learnings go back into better products next year or in 2 years' time. Yeah, but still, that particular initiative that we put 500,000 towards,
No
went
ROI.
tits up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Which
right?
is a good thing, by the way. It's a good thing if
It's
you
a good
stop it on
thing.
time.
It's a good thing, but we have to admit our wrongdoings, and obviously, if we get learnings out of it, that's even better. Going back to AI, so there's definitely hype, and obviously, if you look now at corporate budget, everything has to go towards AI, from trainings to product implementations to everything. Like you can no longer get a training across HR if it's not branded with AI
Yeah.
training for whatever, right?
Yeah.
Um, which makes sense, right? Which I'm not criticizing. I think it makes sense, but it's
There are good
definitely
applications for sure.
definitely again 90% of projects fail, and they fail because again we haven't addressed the critical issues. We've been talking about design thinking and lean startup and experiments and experiment driven innovation and hypothesis driven development for I would say 20 years now, right? Design
Yeah.
thinking it's been around for more than 20 years. How many of those AI projects actually start by understanding the problem
Right.
and interviewing the people that have that problem?
And by the way, that's the great opportunity, I think, with AI. I think a lot of engineers, correct me, I don't want to typecast you completely. They have a deep belief in if I build the right thing, the market will be there because it's going to be so much quality and it's going to solve the problem so well. But I think we've learned also over the last 20, 30 years that that's just not true because it's dependent on getting the problem definition of the customer correct. And
Mhm.
often you do 2 years, 3 months, a year of development just to find out nobody wants this thing. And that's hard to
Yeah.
internalize. It's a difficult thing to actually have to admit, but most engineers learn it if they've done it. It's not hard to learn. Basically, you don't plan a wedding if there's no spouse on the other side, right? So the great hope for AI, I think, is it can speed up that realization. You don't
Yeah.
need to spend a year developing something. You can vibe code it, get it out the door, and at least get that early feedback much faster than you ever could have before. Are
Yeah.
you seeing
Yeah.
people employing that or not in corporate? Or are they still doing the old thing of let's make it perfect first? then test it.
I I think we're still there, unfortunately. I think the whole practice of design thinking and lean startup to some extent hasn't yet matured, or at least the people that are now in charge of AI are oblivious to what we've been writing about in the lean startup community for the past 15 years.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, the tenure of people in innovation is 4 years, so I'm not surprised that that's the case. Uh, we just have to go back to understanding basic business or basic innovation logic. Try to identify the problem, build small scale from there. Obviously, there's other issues around, data optimism. All these organizations believe that they have amazing data or a lot of data, and that data is of high quality. And then whenever they implement projects, they realize that the data is just not there. It was crappy to begin with. And obviously it's crap in, crap out. The AI is not
Yeah.
going to make
But
up data
that
out
in
of
my
thin air.
experience relates to the main thing you pointed out is if you don't craft your strategy well, then you don't know what data to even get. And the
Hmm.
belief that if you just made all data transparent, you could make better strategic decisions, I don't think that's true because it depends on having the actual strategy in place, the hypothesis for it, before you even
Yeah.
get the data to know how to interpret it.
Hey! You've just watched a clip from Show Your Priors podcast. Check out our main channel for full episodes. We have a new one every Tuesday. If you liked what you saw, give us a like and subscribe. It's free for you and helps us out a ton. Did we miss something during our discussions? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.